Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Crypto Tips. My name is Toby.
I'm Heidi.
And what a day. Wow, Bitcoin went to almost $40,000 within hardly any time at all. I will get into why it did that, but first I wanted to discuss what we've been telling our Patreon members, the people that are following us, following our trade alerts, our portfolio. We've been encouraging people to dollar cost average because nobody knows when the bottom was going to happen and nobody knows where the top is going to be. Not the best trader in the world, nobody. And this pump is just a perfect example of that nobody called. It surprised most people. So what do you think, Heidi?
Yeah, I mean, it comes to mind even like recently on Twitter, someone was, asking, well, I'm going to save my cat. We made a post describing how we're going to dollar cost average at 29,000. And someone commented, I'm going to save my cash for when it goes lower. And then situations like this happen and you have a missed opportunity. Similarly, we had a recent trade alert for a new coin that we made an initial investment in, and then we told, we're going to put some orders at lower prices if they fill, or, we're going to have cash on hand to purchase more if we want. And someone asked, well, why don't you just wait until the price goes lower then? And the answer is we dollar cost average because it safeguards you against having to identify the perfect moment in time to purchase a coin, and you can accumulate that coin without missing out or without, mistiming the market, which nearly everyone does if you try to do it, especially if you're not an expert, especially if you're new to this crypto space. So this event, this price action that we just saw, it's a perfect example of why we dollar cost average and why we will continue to do so and why we'll be super profitable doing so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The reason why this pump happened was because there's people called shorts, and the people that are betting against the market. People actually can make money while they bet against the market.
Like they want the price to go down.
They want the price to go down because they make money off it, all right? And so these people, there have been so many shorts because if you look at the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, which tells how fearful the market or how greedy the market is, it was at extreme lows. I haven't seen it that way for ages. So with that said, people shorted and people are like, this thing's going to 20 or 10. I was hearing prices even lower than that. I'm like, what are people talking about? Just in case we had orders in like 26, 20, 28,000 range, just in case. But as you know, I switched once we had about 29,500. We had been buying, then it started going up a little bit. I'm like, all right, you know what? I think these bears are getting exhausted, and I'm just like, well, I'm gonna start purchasing a bunch of coins, and our Patreon members have done really well off that. So you have a short squeeze, which means when the price is going up, people that are betting on the price going down have to buy back at a higher price.
They have to cover their position.
And the more that the price rises, the more they are forced to buy back. And so, otherwise, a lot of these people are levered, which means they're borrowing money against their trade. And, there's something called liquidation, which means they are forced to sell their position. You never want to be in that position, guys, because if you short the market, you're shorting Bitcoin, the hardest money in the face of the planet, with literally a capped supply, regardless of how much in demand it is, at, I would say 16 to 15 million coins. Yeah, we'll explain that later. But as far as, how many Bitcoin are actually ever going to be ever available to everyone, is probably about 15 million, I would say, coins, because most have been lost, most have been gone, people have lost their keys. And so guys, enjoy this ride.
But also just the concept of shorting, there's only so much that it can go to zero before it gets, so much it can go down before it hits zero. And then what's the upside?
Yeah, the upside is, I mean, nobody times the market, guys. Nobody. Like, there was $111 million worth of shorts liquidated. 111 million. People that are shorting the market are like picking pennies in front of a steamroller. They're just going to get destroyed.
For me, it's like they either don't get it, or they're impatient, or they're super greedy.
Yeah.
Because if you have a long-term perspective, if you understand where this space is going, so much easier and stress-free just to long Bitcoin in a dollar cost averaging way.
Yeah.
And also, you know, if you feel like you have to catch up, we actually address these kind of concepts in our most recent class for our CT Club members. That's our Patreon group. If you want to check it out, there's a link down below in the video description. But we did a class talking about things like investment plans, how to formulate one, how to calculate your own risk, how to keep yourself in check against really emotional trades. And one of those concepts was talking about if you feel like you're late to this Bitcoin game and you need to make more risky moves to make up for the lost potential profits that you could have made had you invested 5 years earlier, 10 years earlier. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So just encouragement of sticking to a plan, and you can still be conservative in this space and make plenty of profit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in my opinion, people who short are trying to cut corners, and they're going to get wrecked like they did today.
Yeah.
So it's not the first time there was a short squeeze, or, you know, people got liquidated. How much money was liquidated?
$111 million within 20 minutes or something like that. It's a snowball effect. So every time there's a liquidation, the price rises, and it's because it's forced to rise, and then you have more people that have to sell, and then it just snowballs into this huge little avalanche. It's so fun to watch. It's so fun to watch shorts get absolutely smoked. They have no right be shorting this market, because the upside is literally infinite. Our central bank's going to suddenly stop printing enormous amounts of currency. Like, just recently, the Fed balance sheet just turned to $8.24 trillion. They're printing so much currency, guys. You're crazy not to invest in Bitcoin. It's the hardest asset, guys. Like they're never going to stop printing money. They can't, or currency, they can't. There's a big difference. Money, the biggest attribute of money is that it is scarcity, and the US dollar is not scarcity. It has no scarcity, and neither does any other fiat. Just by pressing a button, you're stealing people's wealth by creating inflation and time. Time is, it's essentially a form of slavery, in my opinion. So anyways, keep in mind, billionaires are buying right now. They've been buying at 29, they've been buying at 30, 31. These people are buying, all right? And we are going to see more of this. Who knows where the price is going to go from here, but just, you know, take advantage of this and dollar cost average.
One thing that Kent Halliburton, he's our friend who shares his thoughts on our channel frequently. We really enjoy Kent, so if you guys do, hit a like on this video, and all of his videos, check them out. But he had a really good phrase that I think is great to keep you in check, right? Is like, how would you feel if Bitcoin went to 15,000 right now? How would you feel if Bitcoin went to 70,000 right now? How are you prepared for each of those situations? And I think that's a good way to keep yourself in check and to remind yourself to have a plan in place. And like, what are your actions if it hits either of those price points? And are you okay with maybe the wait time that it might take for whatever happens when those prices are hit?
So guys, this is how we are able to live a fantastic lifestyle. We're helping more people do that. If you want to check us out on Patreon, check out our trades, our portfolio, everything on patreon.com/crypto tips. Anyways, that's it for this video. Please subscribe and hit the like button. Also, stay disobedient and do not follow the sheep. Follow us instead. Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.